let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings, Adam. Obviously, really rubbish news for them coming out yesterday about JJ McCarthy, who's going to be out for the whole season with a torn meniscus. We probably had maybe a little bit of a different review for Minnesota yesterday than we do today. But now with Sam Darnold under center, a few changes for this team this season as well. What do you expect from them?
Not a lot. I think it's probably the nicest way of putting it. You could argue that they're cursed. I think there's a lot of Vikings fans think that they are at the moment. They've had a real rough off season, and it's not gone great. I think the thing is that Sam Darnold was probably going to start the season anyway. So the idea that losing JJ McCarthy is an absolute disaster isn't probably 100% true, because I don't think he was going to start. I think that you were going to see Darnold anyway. So and Darnold is one of them quarterbacks who, although he's not amazing, he is capable, and I think so he can do a few bits. Aside from that, I think it's going to be really difficult for them. I mean, obviously, when you look at their rookies, obviously what happened to Kyrie Jackson was, incredibly sad, and that's one of their picks. And now the other one is JJ McCarthy. He's not going to be around, so he's literally Dallas Turner. And that's it. I thought they brought in some good players. I thought Jonathan Greenard at edge, I think, is a really good signing for them. Sam Darnold obviously is now going to have to be a decent signing for them. And I like Blake Cashman and obviously Aaron Jones as well. So they've got some guys there that can do some things. But the fact of the matter is that they have lost Kirk Cousins. They have lost Daniil Hunter. They have lost Jordan Hicks. These are big names for them that have gone. And
Hawkinson's meant to be out for some time as well, isn't he?
Yeah, Hawkinson's going to miss, I think is it the first month or the first 6 weeks, something like that. Jordan Addison, of course, got carted off with an ankle injury, although they don't think it's too bad. I'm not expecting a lot from him this year.
Similarly to what we talked about a moment ago with Jared Goff, I know it wasn't exactly resetting his career, but is this now Darnold's opportunity to reset his sort of story within NFL as well? Because he's bounced the Jets, went to the Panthers, went to the 49ers, and now he's
you read my mind, honestly. And also maybe more comparable, just thinking out loud, I was thinking Goff when we were talking about that, but a Baker Mayfield situation, right? He had his last chance.
I wouldn't say Baker Mayfield's regenerated himself, buddy.
But he had I would say Baker Mayfield in Tampa, it was his last chance. We were talking about, and he's now their starter because he got his extension. This is Sam Darnold. He's still 27. People forget that. But it is his last chance. I always think about him, where he got clipped up saying, "I'm seeing ghosts" against the Patriots. Like, I think it's been hard for him to get past that narrative ever since, which is a shame. They've got so many playmakers, Minnesota, but I just think they had a bizarre free agency. Like, I know Green had a great year for the Texans, but like swapping him and Daniil Hunter because Hunter was productive for the Vikings, that felt a bit weird. I know they signed Van Ginkel, but like it was just like, I don't know. They were probably the only team of the four in this division where I was just like, where's the clear plan? And look, I know things haven't gone on their way, and I'm really disappointed for JJ McCarthy because I know he threw that pick early in that preseason game, but he still had over 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. He bounced back and he wouldn't have started, but I felt like they were preparing to sit him for him to come in at some point and be with Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson. But yeah, I can't really put them with a winning record, and I don't mean they're going to be an awful, say like 4 or 5 win team. I just see them around that 6-7 win mark. But yeah, it's a shame. But for Sam Darnold, I think, like anyone, we all have a good redemption story. So let's see how he does.
I think it's almost one of those things where you're like, if it will be a little bit like if they get to mid-season, they've only won 4 games. You sort of, as a Viking fan, go, well, we might as well let's get the draft pick now rather than NFL, because they're good enough to almost be in the top 15 draft picks. You're like, well, if we're picking at 13, does that really change the game that much when we could have picked at like 6 maybe or 5? I don't know. It's been really rough on them.